Are we on, Lee?
We're on, mate, we're on.
How are you, pal?
I'm alright, thank you.
Spaghetti squash, my friend.
That's nice looking plants.
Now these are great in soups. You get like a sort of a honeydew melon sized fruit off them under a squash. But inside the squash, once you scrape them out, it's like spaghetti. And you can cook it as in a soup, or you can have it just as a spaghetti substitute. But it tastes great. Oh, it's really nice. Anyway, how do you do, sir?
I'm alright.
Welcome to the Eden plots.
Right, let's turn around. Right, you probably guessed I'm actually with Tony. I've brought his laptop down and I thought, you know what, let's have a nose around his plot. Let's have a look at allotments. Do a bit of a tour with him. So,
yeah, I can show you around, pal.
Let's have a look around. Let's see what all films actually I'm on my GoPro. So, let's go. And the wife's behind me hiding. Let's start with this looks like a brew hut, mate. This one, I mean, on my allotment.
Shop, doesn't it?
A butty shop.
You pull in all the ice creams out the side.
That's the one, yeah.
Yeah, it's the tiki hut.
The tiki hut. You've got all your water butts. Definitely need some of them where we are.
Yeah.
So this is the bed you're weeding out still?
This is the bed. I've just been weeding this bed out. This is going to be, and it has been for the last 2 years, because it's a potato bed.
Yeah.
Now the reason that it's a potato bed, and to be honest nothing else, is because we had club root issues in it.
Okay, so it's no good for brassicas.
So it's no good for brassicas.
Yeah.
So I'm going to leave this as a potato bed. I'm going to leave it like that for about another 2 or 3 years. Club root can last in the soil for a long time. It can last up to 20 years in the soil.
So, yeah.
So I'm going to just leave this and just have, potentially, if I can sieve it down and what have you, can have it for carrots. It'll be all right for doing me any other veg really, apart from your sort of brassica family, cabbages, cauliflowers, Romanesco and what have you. So it's going to be potatoes, this main croppers, because it's a deep bed.
Yeah, it's basically, this is what I want to do with the plot that I'm on now, but it's, like I say, it's getting all the compost and
it does take time and money really to build them up.
Yeah, yeah.
I think with this one, it was a combination of the compost. It was the clover compost.
Yeah.
And me and Mick chucked in for a couple of tons of topsoil. So it's the topsoil and the compost mixed in together. And what that obviously creates is a decent growing medium. We add your feed in.
Yeah, because if you just use compost, it dries out too quick, doesn't it?
It does dry out too quick.
It's just technically like wood, really. So what's your onions over there?
Right, yeah.
Let's have a look. Go on, let me follow you.
Come on, walk this way.
Monty Python.
Again, I've got my tooth and it just popped out then. That would have been Monty Python. Now these are the overwintering garlic and onions, so the garlic went in here.
Yeah.
These were just shop bought garlics, which some of them have done good, some of them have not done good, so they're just normal garlics that you get from the supermarket.
Yeah.
We split down the cloves and planted them in, I think maybe November last year.
Yeah, last year I tried clove, the garlic from the supermarket. It's got like the bigger bulb from Asda.
That's
or whatever
what
it
I
was.
did.
And I also bought some this year, overwintered them. I know some of mine at the moment now are starting to go rust, so I think they need pulling out and chopping before it goes into the actual bulb.
I think that just maybe just the conditions. You know, if you get the dampness and then you get dry spells, that's where it picks up the dust in it, the rust. Sorry.
No, he wasn't on film then. He was basically just videoing your feet while it looks like that.
Yeah, that's the trouble, Nick. You've got to look through that viewfinder. So yeah, there we are. There's our garlic. It does need a weeding. Believe it or not, that was thoroughly weeded about 10 days ago. There wasn't a weed in sight. All the horses' tails, as you can see, are popping up now. I've just done that one actually, and it was similar to this at the time. But they're all going to be pulled up. I have done that.
Horse tail can go anything down to about 2-3 metres, they reckon, don't they?
They reckon they've found horsetail roots in mines. They can go down for a long, long way, the horsetail.
At least one thing, you can get some coal wire down there.
I noticed then of what them plants that Joe gave us, there was a little lump of coal on top. Yeah.
So the next bed there is onions.
Senchu. Japanese overwintering onions, the senchu. They're starting to bulk up a little bit now.
You know, they look like the bulbing up at the bottom.
Yeah, they're coming through okay. It's a bit of a mixed bag. Some of them have split. Again, these were put in at the same time as the garlics. Yeah. So they've overwintered. They've been in now for, well, it's over 6 months.
Were these seed or actually just...
Like... These weren't seed, and that's why we're getting these scapes coming.
Yeah.
If you do them from seed, you start them a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
And then get them in the ground. We don't tend to do the overwintering ones with the seeds though.
Yeah.
But when you do overwinter ones, even the Japanese, which are an overwintering onion, this time of year you'll start to get these, and these are the seedscapes that shoot up.
Yeah.
And as you can see, they're all popping a little willies in the air, aren't they? Waving them about.
That's a bit of a construction you got there, mate. What? What's the
Oh, this is the teepee.
Teepee? My God, you're not joking, are you?
Now, what this was, because I thought these were the yard-long beans.
Yeah.
And what they are actually is they're just your standard sort of like green bean, climbing French bean. But I thought they were the yard-long beans, which go to about 12, 13 feet in height. So we got these from a fella, and they're actually 14 feet high, these.
I'm going to say, because actually the span up, that is some serious height up there.
It is, it's like Jack and the Beanstalk's beanpole. But it actually they're actually in the ground about 18 inches, these. But anyway, these climbing beans should be okay to climb up there.
Yeah.
I wish I'd have got the yard-long beans, because they're not, they're just a standard French bean, these. And they're twisting around, if you can see that, they're twisting around anti-clockwise.
Yeah.
If you get the big beans, they're called, not runner beans, what are they called?
Broad
beans. The big long beans.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's gone out of my mind. They'll go clockwise.
A bit bizarre, isn't it?
So they climb, no, they climb anti-clockwise, these climb clockwise. I've got it wrong there. Anyway, here's another potato bed. That's again going to be for
backwards
me.
so I can actually see you.
Yeah, just, sorry, pal, you have to
No.
mind that. This is going to be a brassica bed.
Right,
Now,
okay.
we tried the peas in there, but the peas are not doing well, and I should have took that off anyway, but we're doing all the peas this year at home, although, you know, we're still getting some peas on here.
I've got most of my peas grown at home, to be honest.
Yeah.
With mine now, I've just literally decided that small stuff I'm going to grow at home, bigger stuff I'm going to grow at allotment, so salad, etc. will be grown at home,
Yeah.
like my veggie garden, and then the bigger stuff, like cabbages, cauliflower, etc. will be grown actually on the plot itself.
I saw your garden yesterday at home, and you've got some decent crops in, haven't you? At the moment, you've got lots of salad in. But yeah, that's going to get the same treatment as the other beds that we've got over there. We're going to get the hoops on and the net on. That's just scaffold debris or construction debris netting, whatever you want to call it. 2 metres is all right, but I found it's not quite wide enough.
Yeah, especially if you're going to be doing like your tunnels, etc. You need to stitch them up like Mick did with that one there.
Stitch them all together.
Yeah. I don't think I'll be bothered with the needle and thread doing that lot.
No, zip ties. I'll show you on that one. In a minute. Zip ties is the way forward.
So anyway, along here now then. So
we're up here. So we've got the beans there. We've got courgettes in there. Those courgettes were from Tip Top Terry Maguire, another one of the lads that you might see on the show every now and again. So they're from Terry. They're just your standard courgettes. And we've got a flower on there, and where the flower is there, that's where we'll get the courgette growing.
Yeah.
It'll
get pollinated. Courgette already there, kind of.
Yeah, and that'll get pollinated, and then it could become a true courgette and start growing. We've got the spaghetti squash that I've just given you there.
I like that idea where you've actually put like old trellis leaning it backwards so it can climb up it.
Yeah. We put it on that bit of an angle then, so when it does grab on, it's better protected against the strength of the wind.
Yeah.
Because it will grow up straight, but it'll tend to get blown over. But if you get a bit of an angle, it can sort of rest, and the fruit will come through these.
Yeah.
And hang on that side if you like, and then you go behind it and you can pluck them off.
That's a good idea. Something little tip for later on maybe.
You don't call us a guru for nothing, you know what I mean?
That's it, yeah, that's it.
Broad beans, we've got them in here.
Let me walk it on this way.
I think these ones are Bunyard's Exhibition, if I remember rightly.
Well, they're flowering all right, aren't they? Mine's just starting to flower now, yeah.
They're either Bunyard's Exhibition or the Bunyard's Dwarf, I'm not 100%. Look at the detritus I'm standing here. But they're all flowering up nice. And like with any broad beans, that's where you'll get the broad beans coming from. And they'll be coming in big clusters by the look of that, won't they? They'll be getting decent clusters on. And for that one, again, it was just mostly in that. It was mostly the compost. Not a lot of dirt in that, but it was mostly the compost. But that was put in last year, so it's had a bit more time to condense and solidify a bit more. And in there as well, we've got the bloodfish and bone.
Yep.
and I think I put in some extra. I put a sprinkling of 6X concentrated farmyard manure and bloodfish and
That's
bull.
very hard to get all that 6X stuff. There's not a lot of places to sell it.
Paul Green.
I went down Paul Green. I actually found that place after you said about one day. It's a pretty decent place, but they didn't have any in when I went down.
Oh, they've always had it in when I've been. Yeah,
that's my luck, sod's law, isn't it?
they'll have it in the sacks, or they'll have it in the tubs as pellets. You know, like you get chicken manure pellets. Yeah. They'll have it like that, but we've always got it from there in the sacks.
I'll try again.
You don't need a lot, you know. You only need a bit.
Yeah, I believe so. Right, let's move along to. You got your patcho down there. We'll have a look at that one in a minute.
Yeah, well, might as well do this side first if you like. That's where Bradley's cage was. It's a right mess at the moment. Because
yeah, it used to be only about yay high, didn't it?
Yeah, it was about
to
that high.
to get into it.
Which is all right for the little kiddies, but it's no good for a 50-year-old bloke with bad knees.
Well, to be fair, you're not little kids anymore. You're right.
Well, our Bradley's too tall for it now, and our James is about this side.
I see you got your nettle tea over there as well. Your nettle tea in the little yellow container.
Yes, nettle tea in there and there. We've got 2 lots there. That's 30th of April. So that's not quite ready, but that's definitely ready there.
Okay. So I presume these are your potatoes that you've been putting in?
This is the main potato bed. Now I've been knocking the mortar off from them paving slabs there, so it's all over the bed. I need to tidy it up. But that's because I've been knocking it off to do that patio bit there.
So I presume this bit here you're going to flag down here then?
That's going to be flagged.
Yeah.
It was going to be stoned, but they banned stone off the plots.
Yeah, I remember the
Mick was on probably.
Yeah, because Mick wanted some in it because what they said, because it's already stoned, he can carry on doing it.
If you've already got it on, you're okay to use it. So that's going to be flagged. That's fine because I've got lots of paves.
Yeah.
That's all going to be patioed. I'm going to be doing a lot of bucket growing. So there's 2 reasons why I'm not doing leaving it like it is. The weeds are getting on my nerves completely, so they need to be taken out.
Yeah.
I'm sick of weeding, so I'm going to pave it. And then once I've paved it, I'm going to keep on top of them cracks by pouring salt down.
Yeah.
Salt will suppress the weeds, and it'll not be a problem then.
Yeah.
Every 6 weeks, pour the salt down, and that'll keep it nice and weed free. And I'll just grow in buckets over the top of it.
So this is what do you call them, as tiki tunnels, is it?
These are the tiki tunnels. Tiki tunnel 1 is the big one you're looking at right now.
And then you got
and
the
that's
small
the Lady Farmers, Tiki Tunnel 2.
So I like how you made these. It's really a good idea.
I like that one more than that one. Reason being,
it looks neater.
It looks neater, and you can get the water collection from it. You can't get the water collection from this one.
Yeah, because you can actually see how you've made that one compared to
different. That's
this one just runs
under,
off.
That's tucked over.
Yeah.
And that runs off then into that gutter, which goes down to where our water collection is at the back.
Yeah.
So there's a tub for collecting the water.
So this is the bigger one, which is where you do mainly like your seeding and good one. So you do all your seeding.
Nice and warm when it's on a cold winter's day here.
Yeah, I can imagine. And yeah, so you got decent area to sit down. Nice chair in the middle already, and so you got your potting bench, and it's ideal.
It's all a bit scruffy because I am a bit scruffy myself, mate.
That doesn't. Then we're not here to. If it was a garden at home, we're different, wouldn't it? But we're here to grow, aren't we? Realistically,
it's functional. That's the main thing.
How good are you've actually done it all. You definitely need this heat tape bump, don't you, on certain areas.
Where it's touching the plastic. I mean, this is not too bad. It's actually designed for polytunnels, the sheeting that we've got on this. But you can get some that isn't. You can just get some the standard poly. It'll last for a season, and then it'll be cracked and destroyed.
So what have we got in here then? So you peppers, etc. Well, this is something from your last video, isn't it? Saying hope you can get your cabbages out in time and the cauliflowers and etc.
Yeah, because they're suffering. It's just that I haven't got the netting up on that. You've not got the spur beds at the minute for getting them all in. But I'll sort something out for that. But they are proper suffering.
Like you got horse sales, aren't you? I remember your video. You gutted this place out, didn't you?
I have to do it, to be honest with you. Every week. You've got to keep on top of it. Because I pulled them out, see all the horses' tails down there, I pulled them out, that was on, I'm sure it was Wednesday night.
So these are your cucumbers, I presume, are they?
These are the cukes. So we've got the cucumber Market More 76. That's the majority.
I like the framework you put up. What would you do? Would you extend like from here down if need be?
You can do. But because they'll spread and they'll find their own way, It's not overplanted that, although it might look it. I mean,
Yeah.
you've got 7 in there, but it isn't, because they find their own way behind the weave in and out as they're growing.
It's warm in here, lad. It's warm in this one. I think it's warmer in this one than it is in the other one.
It is. Well, I think it is,
Where you
because
put it in your baskets then?
you've got a lot of these. I was thinking strawberries or maybe even tumbling toms.
Same with yourself, strawberries. That went out the window, so I've got some different ones. Like not a tumbling tom, but I'll tell you something though. If you go to Asda at the moment, they've got tumbling toms in a basket ready, £4.
Have they?
Yeah. So I was thinking
It's
about
not
getting
worth
some.
doing it yourself, is
Then
it?
you may
for
just take it
£4?
out.
What, in an hanging basket as
Well,
well?
plastic hanging basket.
That's a no-brainer, isn't it?
And to be fair, there's about 3-4 plants in one of them.
What you want to do with these though, the thing with these is you'll be forever watering them.
Yeah.
If you don't put a plastic liner in, put a plastic liner in, poke some holes in with a pencil,
Yeah.
and then fill it up with your soil. You can leave that on the
Have you seen
outside.
that gel
if you
stuff
want.
that you can actually get for hanging baskets? It's
No,
like
I've
a
not
powdered
seen
gel, and it retains the water.
Yeah, I've seen the expanding
Yeah. Well, it's-
gel pouches and what have you.
It's actually very expensive, about £20 for the small pouch. But if you actually look at your local water company, United Utilities or whoever you are around here, if you actually dig deep, they're giving away sachets of the stuff for hanging baskets to help you save water. So there's a little tip
Right.
for you.
You've got
Work-
some, haven't you?
Worth
Yeah,
looking at,
I've got,
isn't it?
I've got some free charge, don't even charge you for postage.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose plastic bags 10p these days, guys.
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah, that's it. Yeah.
But that's what you'd have to do, because they just, it all comes straight out the
Yeah.
water if you don't do that. It's not.
We've had birds pecking at ours.
Well, that's what's been happening here.
Yeah, the
That's
birds,
why these
birds
ones
and
are-
mixed And what's them in the corner?
Again, those are the dwarf French beans. I'm trying them in the ground as well as in the pots, because these are dwarf French as well behind
Yeah.
you.
Tell you what,
They
you
do well inside the greenhouses.
can
these.
see how quick it dries out, can't you? You can see the soil itself now starting to come away from the pot. Well, let's go out because I'm sweating to
Yeah.
death in here. even that bumblebee's struggling.
This is going to be for.
Ah, so this is the bit.
This is the bit that I made. This is the first structure that was built on here. This one.
Is this the first one you ever made?
This is, and this was done in the first week, I think, that when we got the plots. It all started in the first
So
week.
you
I
use,
put the base
is it
in.
just like roofing battens, is it?
Yeah.
And
So
some polycarb.
these are 2x1 battening,
Yeah. Let me stand back a bit so I have to get it in frame.
and I've got some 2x2 rough sawn timber for the main structural frame.
Yeah.
And then these, just building up the side pieces, filling in the gaps if you like. So you've got the 2x1 on the inside, and then because we're attaching the clear 6mm clear polycarbonate. These come in 4 foot by 2 foot
Yeah.
sizes, which for a greenhouse like mine's ideal. If you've got the one with the 2 foot squares, you just trim them in half, and they're dead easy
So
to
the one,
cut.
the one that you see mine at home, the one I've made, like I call it a hybrid because it's half glass, half plastic.
It is, yeah. Like the roof's sort of like.
Yeah, all plastic as well. But the actual sheeting, if you notice, they're over 2 foot, so they've had to be specially cut. So it's a lot of money. Anyway,
For the glasses, yeah.
yeah.
But in here, yeah, we've got some more cucumbers that I put in last night.
I'm just over there, me just having a nosy.
Oh, go on then. I'll follow you, come on.
More cucumbers you
Actually,
mentioned.
look at that, they've just burst out then.
That's it.
Now, they weren't up yesterday then.
That's just the new hours coming to come on royal visit.
They've come showing their faces, having a look at Lee and his missus. This is a bit of an experiment, this, because what we're doing is we've got 3 types of potatoes, new potatoes.
Yeah.
We've got the accord in there. Now there are
Let me
2.
come back a little bit for a second.
There are 2 spuds in each bucket. One is about 2 inches from the base in one corner, and the other is about 2 inches above that. These are known by Americans as determinate potatoes. They'll only grow in one level,
Okay.
new potatoes. So hopefully the bottom one will fill up the bottom,
Yeah.
and the one that's halfway up will fill up the rest, and we'll get a full bucket of spuds out of the 2 potatoes. It's no point really earthing up or digging any further down with new potatoes because they don't grow up the stem. Main croppers, such as your Sarpo Maiders and your Malice Piper and such like, they'll grow all the way up the stem from the potato. They'll send shoots out and grow all the way up the stem. Whereas your new potatoes, they don't do that.
Yeah.
They only grow around where the potatoes.
So it's like you say, the back there, behind you now, they're your normal potatoes, like your new potatoes, like first early, second early, etc.
These are the first earlies. Again, they're the same as these, but these were started 6 weeks before these.
Yeah.
Because we want that succession. We'll have a big glut of potatoes here.
Yeah.
what we intend on doing is, because we only really need for the family and the extended family, they're playing with rubber. We'll only really need about £5 or £6 a week of potatoes. That's if you're eating a lot of potatoes, you know, with your main meals and stuff, which will mean that these 3 buckets will be a week's worth.
So this is when I'm going to start collecting more of these, and I will start taking these to the plot. You've seen when you come round yesterday, my garden, all my potatoes in the 30-litre buckets. I might take them down the plot because I don't need them in the garden. I never had allotment before, so take them down there, out of the way.
Get them something like that.
Yeah.
So we've got the same setup here. So again, we'll have week 1, which will be ready. These will be ready for harvesting. These in about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So about 2 weeks, we'll be taking the first row, leave the other ones in for another week. Take that one, take that one, take that one, and by the time we get to the back there, that'll be 6 weeks, and then this one will be ready.
Yeah.
So we're going to have 12 weeks of
something for me to actually think about.
3 months of spuds.
Yeah, I just dumped all mine in, and they're all growing at the same time. So
that's what I mean. I've done the same. You're not the only one. Everybody does that.
Yeah.
But we're thinking if we can do it like that, you don't get a massive glut that you know you've got to deal with, and they'll be perfectly fine left in the soil. They're going to be all right, and they'll keep in the soil. Don't go off.
Yeah, as long as the soil's not too wet, they won't rot away.
As long as it's not too wet. As these get older, the ones at the back there, these will start to die off, all the foliage and everything.
Yeah.
If it gets looking like it could have blight on it, we'll just cut all the horns off, get rid of all the top growth, and just leave the spuds in the buckets.
Yeah.
And dig them up and tip them out when we need them. That's the plan for this year.
Right, let's go and have a look on the right-hand side of the plot.
Yeah, of course.
We've already had a look in the little tunnel. That's good, that one. Might think about that one. Building one, maybe.
Well, you've got the trampoline for ends, haven't you?
I have.
I'll give you a lift with that if you want. We'll get them sorted.
So I'm assuming this is the grape tree in there that you said you're going to get.
I'm going to get Joe to have a
it.
good look at, because I don't know how to. Well, I do know how to trim. I've just not got round to it, and he's better.
Yeah.
He's better at it. See, those where they're growing,
Yeah,
but because it's overcrowded and what have you,
yeah,
they start to burst and you start to lose them.
So that's what he did with it. Is he actually grew it inside, but with him neglecting it over the years, this trunks were like that.
God almighty.
And it pushing the glass that hard, it just shattered the glass.
Yeah, it's no good, is it?
And I was finding glass 8 foot away from the actual greenhouse.
Burst through like a flaming triffid, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's it. That was actually our slug fort. I don't know if you ever saw that one that we did, the slug fort. Can you see that in there? That tray on the floor.
Oh, yeah.
It's got the sand in the buckets over the top.
Yeah.
So what you do is you get that tray on the floor, put the buckets full of sand on, put another tray on top for growing, and then on top of that other tray, that's where you water your plants. You put.
Yeah, I'm seen that one, yeah.
And then the bottom one's got the salt in.
Seen that bottom tray, salt in, yeah.
Full of salt, yeah, and that kills off all the slugs.
That's a good idea, yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Spin around. So this one here, pak choy.
That's pak choy, that's a brassica bread. That's going to be a brassica bed. Got the tubes over the top there.
Yeah.
We're going to do exactly the same as this.
What size tubing's that red one? Is that something like 25 mil?
That's 25 mil, and that's, I think,
15, is it?
I think it's 18. That's water piping.
Yeah.
And that's for I think it's for electrical. It's a conduit for electrical cabling and that.
Yeah.
Again, you can get it from Screwfix and places like that. We were given that, so I don't know exactly what the dimensions are for it. We've got a big roll of it over there.
Yeah, I've seen a big roll over there for you. Just spun around that quick. You'll get dizzy if you watch this one now.
Yeah, you will get seasick. Now, the way that this works, I particularly like, because it's got the skirt on.
Yeah.
And the skirt is affixed with these little nails. There's like little nails in.
Yeah, little tacks, just keep it in place.
Little tacks. And all you do is you go around and you lift these out. Because you only need to get in about once a fortnight, once it's just to do a bit of weeding.
Oh, so your cable tie, so you can just slide the cable ties up then?
And the cable ties slide up. He says,
yeah,
like that.
That's a good idea, yeah.
And then you can just keep pushing them back, and then that'll lift up, and you can fix it all here, all the way along. Get in, do your weeding, and then pop them back down after.
And even more nightmare horsetail or weed, whatever they are.
Yeah, because you have to keep on top of it, like,
yeah,
you know.
Definitely. So these like your raspberries, all this, like your raspberries, blueberries, etc.
Yep, that's the fruit. We've got blackberries on the left-hand side.
Okay, yeah.
So those ones there with the white flowers on, they're the blackberries.
Yeah.
And these are all the raspberries. And they're looking like, fingers crossed, we're going to have a good crop this
Yeah, it
year.
looks like you have a decent. Are these the same as magical, like not magical, like the elf, wise elf?
The wise old elf.
Yeah, we just met him for. Yeah.
I think so. But I never knew the variety because these were already on, see,
Okay.
when we come here.
So they don't spread, not popping up everywhere else.
Well, yeah, because I mean, they come into there. This one's trying to run off here.
No, I can see.
That's trying to escape, that one.
Oh, yeah.
We are getting them. They do spread the rhizomes underneath the soil and they'll travel, you know.
Could you cut that off and put it into a pot and see if it'll grow on that one there? And next to your foot, that one.
Yeah, I mean, all you need to do is dig down about 8 to 9 inches and get a bit of the root out, and that'll easily. Because they're like a bloody weed once they start getting established.
Yeah,
they'll spread. They're like nettle, to be fair, stinging nettle. They spread underneath the ground.
And you got your strawberries. Very nice.
Those are the new strawberries. Those are the Cambridge favourite. Them. Dead sweet, dead big, dead fat strawberries. Get them about this size. Proper good size. You can't see the seeds on the outside of them. They're like dimply. They're sunk in the seeds.
What if you're on your pallet collar? What, there's some
Spuds in there.
spuds in there?
I'll shift this out of the way so we can get up there. There's a bit of rhubarb that I don't ever bother with. I don't even do anything with it.
Just let it grow.
I just let it grow. And we'll have a rhubarb crumble every now and again. This is a pear tree, conference pear. Oh, sorry, no, this is an apple tree. Malus domesticus, conference pear. We've got the Sarpo mere in here, main cropper.
Yeah.
Bedded down to about here. Because they will grow up the stems, you should get a quite a good crop out of them. New potatoes in there. Like I say, we're doing some in buckets, we're doing some in the ground and see which does the best, you know.
So let's have a pan around.
Loads going on.
Yeah, loads of them, yeah. Right, let's spin you back around. Right, if you're still with us, a bit of a tour around Tony's plot.
The ground tour.
The grand tour. I've got some ideas for mine. First of all, mine is just need to de-weed the damn thing again. Right, let's shake hands with Tony and then we're going to have to get going.
Thank you, my mate.
No problem.
Thanks very much for the computer.
Hey, that's what we're from.
You're a lifesaver.
No problem. Right.
I'll repay you back. We'll get that polytunnel done.
Yeah, we'll get that done. Once everything's up and running and that, we'll build the tunnel. Right, we'll sign off now. Thank you very much.
Simply lovely.
Simply lovely.